What's up, guys? Welcome back to another KJ Lifestyle video. We are here in the Macan. As you can see, something very different. We've done a few things in the last video. As you can see, the little blue stripes over here. I just put this little stripe on today. I don't know if I'm going to keep that on. But today we're going to try to do some interior ambient lighting. So I have the little strips that we're going to try to put just at the top of the dash. However, we do have to figure out how we're going to wire those in, whether we're going to just tap into the fuse box, which we have one on this side and one on this side, or use a posi tap. Going to try to tap into one of those and hopefully be able to kind of pop out the dash over there and run the wire all the way across to this side. So let's get started. All right, so as you can see, this is a little fiber optic light here, very, very thin, and it's not the acrylic one that kind of shoots a, this is an LED, not a fiber optic. So this is gonna kind of go into the dashboard like this, and just kind of push in there with pressure. And then we got to plug in one side and kind of run the wire all the way back over to the other side to the fuse box. All right, so it is now the next day, and in classic Florida fashion, it poured yesterday just as we were trying to do this. But the only thing we did actually get through is putting the lights in. As you can see right here, they just still need to be pushed in a little bit. But I was able to pull this piece out right here and kind of tuck in the actual wire, and then once I take this cover off, you can see the wire kind of coming down through here. So the only thing we have to do is put it in, the lights in on the other side. This is already cut, so that's the whole line right here is good, and then wire it up. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing a fuse tap or trying to go into one of the footwell lights, but we're going to try to make that decision, test a few fuses, and see what works. Alright, so instead of using the passenger side, what I'm going to do is use the driver's side. So this is A1, 2, 3, or 12, 11, 10, 9. A9 is not used, and I found that that's also an accessory. So when the car was on, the fuse was on, but then when it was off, so I don't have to worry about anything drawing power. So I did have to take off this little plastic cover. I have my fuse tap right here. I have a 15 amp fuse in there. And all I have to do, I think, is unscrew this so I can kind of pull out the dashboard to run this wire, and then I can tuck this box somewhere up in here, I think, and then I'll be able to run the extension wire. Hopefully it'll reach, because I might have to also go through the center console, but we'll figure that out once we get everything plugged in.
Ambient.com.
So what I did was, I have the fuse tap here. This is obviously the power wire, and the ground is going to be plugged in right at that little bolt right here. Obviously the lights are tucked up underneath here, so I have to tuck it in a little bit more. But the tricky part was this extension right here. So as you can see, this is being ran all the way underneath the steering column. You can kind of see a little bit of the slack right here. I popped these pieces off the center console and obviously ran these wires all the way through. Over to the passenger side, same thing. You can see it being run all the way up there. So when this is up, you probably won't even be able to see that little bit. and then it goes all the way around the back, and the connection point is right here. I wanted to make sure that there was enough slack so this wasn't being pulled. So as you can see, this moves around a little, and I'm gonna tuck that back there. So when the cover's on, you won't even be able to see any of this, which is exactly what I wanted, a nice little clean look. So what I have to do now, unscrew this a little bit, tighten down the negative, and then I'm just gonna test these first to make sure the lights work. Then crimp that down, tape it up, and try to tuck everything up in here so the cover fits back on. All right, so this side is done. All we have left is to take the little side piece here and kind of push it in here, line up the top, and snap in. Nice. All right, good to go. That side's done. All right, so the only last step is to kind of crimp these into the fuse tap. I gotta go run up and get a pair of pliers. But that is the last step. I'm gonna put the cover on and then probably show you guys a little video at night. As you can see, the wires are still kind of tucked up underneath there. Obviously a little visible, but nothing crazy because this is obviously silver. I did get the kit to do the doors. However, that's going to be a much more difficult process just because I have to take the whole door panel off. Well, all 4 door panels off. So we'll see when I get to doing that. All right, so I got everything crimped and tucked. Only thing I'm worried about is this little corner. But now I'm gonna see if the little panel fits back on, and then gonna run this little button up underneath and probably tuck it back in. Oh, I also have to remember to pop in those 2 center pieces as well. So the last step of the process was that little guy right there. As you can see, I have the wires tucked all the way underneath, going right up underneath the steering column and over here, and everything is nice and clean, tucked. Might have a little bit of adjustments to do with the actual lights themselves, but we're gonna wait to do that until tonight. So I'll see you guys in a few hours. All right, so here we are a couple hours later in the car now, and as you can see, we got the lights going across the dashboard. Like I said, the doors eventually I'll have to do, but that's gonna be a whole different process. I think for right now though, this looks really, really nice. I also wired that little thing, as you saw, kind of up here, the little button, just in case I did want to change it. You can click the button, as you can see it. It changes all different kinds of colors and all that, but I think I'll probably keep it on a solid color as opposed to one that's moving and fading, just so it's not distracting. Yeah, very happy with how this came out. Here we are in the car, daytime, as you can see from the lights outside, but the lights are still plenty bright enough. This is at max brightness, and at night you have to turn these down because it's like almost blinding. But I have it on the light blue, of course, so you can see to match the little pinstripe I got on the inside. But you can do any different colors. So these lights are controlled with an app called Magic Lantern. As you can see when you open the app, it's got some presets down in the middle. It's got the color wheel, and apparently there's about 16 million different colors that you can choose from. I obviously just stick to the main ones. And the other thing you can do is you can make different sequences to have the lights flow or change colors. Like I said before, I just like the flat colors. I usually stick with light blue, purple, blue, red, or white. The other thing that you can do with these lights is configure the ones that are going to be going on the doors. And I want to try to find the footwell lights because I feel like those are easy enough to do, especially with everything being linked up over here. Just got to plug 2 of them in and stick them down there, and I'll be able to have those. And I'll show you guys what this button does right here that I wired up when I installed them. When you click it, as you can see, it changes colors. Click it again, goes the other way, red to white or white to red, multicolors, a whole bunch of different options you can choose. The configuration is pretty much endless on these. As you heard, there's 16 million different colors, and that's not including the changes you can go through here. I think this is a really, really cool addition, depending on what car you have. One very important thing I do want to touch on though, is it's only going to work if you have a flat dashboard. If your dashboard is curved, meaning it goes from the front of the car towards the back of the car or vice versa and not a flat line, the lights only bend one way, and that's kind of horizontally. They're not going to bend like across each other. So make sure that if you're gonna put these on, you know that your dashboard is flat. If you guys have any questions on this mod, feel free to leave them in the comment box below. It was a pretty simple process, as you saw. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the ambient lighting video. If you liked it, obviously leave a like, click that subscribe button. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I feel like we were just starting out. But yeah, remember to be kind, be happy, and be grateful, and we'll see you in the next one.